Welcome back, everybody. We are here again on the Ham and Turkey podcast, recording for our second week in a row, which I would like to clap up for that. Any amount of consistency that you can, right, that you can bring together when you're trying to bring, what is it, 7 people together, right? When you're trying to do that, you want to clap up for any amount of consistency because it's hard to get that many people to be consistent at one time. And so today we
Very true.
have we have a little bit of a hodgepodge type show for you today where we want to talk about a myriad of topics. I love sports. Sports is my entire life. It's my life's work. So I can talk sports, all day. And so we kind of want to get into a diverse range of topics. So we're going to have, we're going to talk about the fight, right? We're going to talk about the Alex Pereira versus Alcalaya fight. We're going to talk about REJ's beloved New York Knicks. Then we're going to talk a little draft, a little bit, a little draft talk, some of our favorite prospects of, who we like, team fits, things of that nature. So first segment today, we're going to talk about the fight, the Alex Pereira versus Alcalaya fight. And my man RSJ is probably one of the best in terms of, being a fight expert, so to speak. Ari, what is your TikTok? What is that? What is that where they can find all your fight content?
My TikTok is Jay Do That MMA. He's giving me a lot of credit, expert. It's a little too high a praise. Not maybe connoisseur of the sport, but
Hey man,
but
listen, you
nonetheless,
gotta
nonetheless,
you,
I know my shit.
right. I mean, people gotta get their flowers while they can still smell it. And I'm a very big proponent of that. Giving people their flowers while they're alive and people, giving them the proper credit. So as we dive into this fight, I wanted to say shout out to DraftKings. I'm giving them a lot of free promotion, but I would like to be sponsored by them, to do content for them. So I feel like figure we do segments like this using DraftKings lines. You know what I mean? And we're gonna use some DraftKings lines and props. And we're gonna help you guys make some money this weekend. RSJ actually is gonna help you guys make some money this weekend. And so kind of what I kind of wanted to start with is the fight lines in that first little box. So again, we're on DraftKings, right? We're using DraftKings lines and stuff like that. Um,
You can order any book you want. We're
right,
on draft now for this stuff because that
right,
way me and we'll have the same lines.
right.
So
So Ari, I wanted to ask you about I wanted to see if we could put together like a parlay for the people. Just a parlay. I think you would do really well with that. I see this first one, total rounds over under 2.5. What are you thinking about for that one? Based on both the fighters, what you know about them, like all your knowledge, right? Put into one. What do you think about the over under for this total rounds according to DraftKings lines?
talking about the first fight of the night, the 6:45 p.m. one.
No, the Alex. So you gotta go to Alex Pereira and
I'm going for the
Alcalaya.
main card. You want to start from there. That's where I was looking
Yeah,
at
yeah,
first.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so they got
Um,
total rounds 2.5, over under 2.5. What do you think about that?
to be honest, I don't. I think this can go to the fourth round. I'm not gonna lie. Both these fighters are pretty durable. Um, I would not fade this going under. Honestly, 2.5 rounds. But that's the thing with betting and two knockout power fiends like these two, you just never know. But I do think Ankalaev is going to be heavy wrestling based this fight. He doesn't want to stand with Alex Pereira, and if someone wrestles, it usually takes a little while to get the other person subdued. So I feel like that can go on for at least 2 rounds, and if you get to the third, you cash the bet. So. I feel like if no one gets knocked out in these first 2 rounds, just like in the Khalil Roundtree fight, and he didn't get knocked out till what was it? Khalil Roundtree didn't get finished till the fourth. So if
Mhm.
if both these fighters can fight like that, you can definitely see yourself catching this over 2.5 bet.
Over 2.5. Well, that's our first prop in our parlay. So we're gonna hit the over 2.5 based on DraftKings bet lines. What do you think about so now you encompass everything you know about both fighters, right? So you kind of giving us an overview of the fight. They have 80% of the money, 80% of the bets, excuse me, on Pereira. Like, how do you feel about that? So it's an 80-20 split between Pereira and Alcalayev. Like, what do you think about that disparity?
At first, I I actually thought to myself, like, why would they make Ankalaev um not a favorite in this fight? But the more and more I started doing my research and seeing who Ankalaev's last opponents were, I thought to myself, this is actually perfect for Alex Pereira. People are looking to take Ankalaev as a dog really because he's so wrestling heavy, but they don't realize that Ankalaev has never really fought anybody that was a true dominant top ranked person. Ankalaev fought Johnny Walker, who was on a downward spiral. I'm sorry. Same with Anthony Smith. He fought two ranked fighters who are now, I believe, number 10 and like number 12. Don't quote me. But I know for a fact Anthony Smith is not in the top five anymore. And both those fighters just they've been on losing streaks, man. Johnny Walker gets out there and does the Bambi legs just about his last two or three fights. He's very catchable, very hittable. So when it comes to the skill set of Ankalaev's opponents, I just don't think they're up there with Alex Pereira's. I think he's fought better people. When you look at Jamal Hill, when you look at Jerry Prohaska, I feel like they just they don't compare to those opponents that Ankalaev fought. They're better than those opponents that he fought. That's why I wasn't so sure about this fight. Yes, he has the wrestling dominance over Alex Pereira, but Alex Pereira has been wrestling for the last like 2 to 3 years. People forget because his mixed martial arts right around the time he started playing Izzy was when he started practicing wrestling. And I think the Glover Teixeira help will help him a lot in his fight against Ankalaev. But you never know. But I'm going with Alex Pereira in this fight just because to sum it all up, Ankalaev's skill set is just not the same as excuse me, Ankalaev's opponents were just not the same as Alex Pereira's opponents. They just didn't compare in terms of skill set.
Yeah, man, Pereira is a different beast. I'm very new to the sport of MMA, and so, but I do know, Pereira is a beast, and I'm looking forward to watching, Ankalaev. And then I don't know if a lot of people know that, but Pereira is close to 40. You know what I mean? So for him to be doing this, at this juncture, of his career is
37.
yeah, 37 is quite impressive. So I don't know if you see do you see method
Oh,
of victory when you look at on the lines? You see method
I'm
of
go- I'm
victory?
I'm gonna say knockout. I still think somebody's gonna get knocked out. These two fight too heavy, even if it's on the ground, even if it's a TKO from wrestling
Okay.
and getting, ragdolling somebody. I do see this getting finished. I do want to shout out Ankalaev for being the only fighter to take a fight during Ramadan. He is actually one of the only fighters, I'm pretty sure, to my knowledge, to take a fight during Ramadan, which means you're not eating for pretty much 13, 14 hours of the
Hmm.
day, intermittent fasting, for religious purposes. So I got to shout him out for that. That's pretty crazy that he's even attempting this. And Saturday will be the first time he's really actually going to be eating the full day, I believe. I think
Right.
Ramadan is over somewhere around that time period.
Yeah. I think I read an article too before I got on that said that Ankalaev said that he wasn't going to follow the full strict Ramadan diet. So we'll see how that goes. So um, you're going Alex Pereira, method of victory, add to the parlay, win by KO, TKO, DQ. What out of these method of victories, like which one? So you got draw plus 5,000, right? And then you have which one of these do you feel like is far-fetched, right? Got really crazy odds, but you could see it happen in like some world. You could see it where it's happening.
Of course, I can see Pereira TKO happening. For, yeah, I could see Ankalaev TKO happening too. But
Wow,
you
Alcalá
can,
TKO. Okay.
that's the thing though. It's MMA. Anyone can be caught. So, but I am leaning toward Pereira just because the striking has proven itself. He's knocked out everyone. Everyone he, really had to. He knocked out Izzy. He knocked out Jamal. He knocked out Yuri. He knocked out Roundtree. Who's next on the list? Only
Hmm.
person really to give him a problem was Jan Blachowicz. And he wrestled him for most of the fight, which a lot of people said, oh, that's the recipe to possibly beat Pereira. And Jan feels like he was robbed in his fight. But sum all that up, I'm saying Alex Pereira by TKO. And then what doesn't seem plausible is a draw. It's not gonna be
Okay.
like the Roach fight. I know some of y'all who bet on that gonna be like, oh yeah, take this one. Nah, it's not gonna be like that.
Um, I like some of these round and method of victory, right? So we're predicting, which round do you think the TKO is going to happen in? If you had to guess based on your extensive knowledge, where do you think, what sweet spot do you think the round where Pereira will knock him out or win? I think you might have touched on it at the beginning, but if you had to put it in a parlay, like which one would you touch?
I would definitely throw exact method of victory KO in a parlay. I would stay away from submission. Um, I I don't really. I mean, if anything, Ankalaev gets a submission, but I don't see that happening either. These are two people who are more so based in striking. Like Ankalaev can wrestle, but he doesn't really like to wrestle from what I'm seeing in fights. Like he'll do it, but if he's piecing you up on the stand up, fucking, I'm gonna stand up. You know what I mean? Um, definitely want to put draw in there. I mean, hey,
Mhm.
you gotta be realistic here. Um, yeah, I would definitely throw exact method of victory, KO, and a parlay. Submission. Oh, on another note, I saw a post that said they posted the script of UFC 313 and it
Mhm.
had Alex Pereira by submission as one of the results. So
Oh
I was just
man.
like, I wonder if he wins by some crazy method like that, would that can't be true?
Yeah, that's wild, bro. What about
Um,
what about round and method of victory? You said at the very bottom you scroll down,
yeah,
so it's got like Alex Pereira win by KO in round one. Like what round, based on the way both fighters fight, like what round do you feel like if you had to put any of these in a parlay, like which one of these would you say would be
so,
something you would touch?
so just to keep my over 2.5 round betters happy, we're gonna do Alex Pereira to win by at least the third round. So bet
Okay.
either one, take your pick. No 4 or 5. I don't see it going there. But one, two, and three, 500, plus one, plus 750, and plus 1100, with three being the highest. Most likely, I would take round one or two.
Okay. I like that,
The
RSJ. You
two
giving
third,
us some
third
good
round.
some good games. So what do you so to sum it all up, right? To bring it all back together, what do you feel like is the best bet of the weekend for this fight? The sure bet that somebody can put on this and they'll win.
I'm leaning. I'm gonna keep it on the main event. I'm gonna keep it on. I don't know. You know what? I want to say the main event, but I also want to give people some plus money. So I want you to go to the Justin Gaethje Rafael Fiziev fight.
Okay.
Excuse me, Rafael. I always say Rafael, but I'm pretty sure he pronounces it like that. Go to the Justin Gaethje, the co-main event.
Yep.
Justin Gaethje already beat this dude pretty decisively. He's plus 140 though, because he's coming off that Max Holloway flatline knockout. Don't be fooled, people. Justin Gaethje still got them hands. Anybody could get caught at MMA. And if anyone was gonna knock Justin Gaethje out, it was gonna be Max Holloway, another skilled fighter.
He's an underdog in this fight, according to
Underdog,
DraftKings.
bro.
Yeah.
Justin Gaethje. I don't even look right. I don't even look right on Sportsbook.
Just
Um,
updated the lines plus 140 on the money line for DraftKings. So
it was at plus 142, right?
yeah, it just switched. The
Yeah,
live odds just
that's
switched.
it.
So okay.
Telling
Yeah,
you,
but plus 142, yep.
people wisen up. They see it. I'm not the only one looking at the signs like, oh, this is food right here.
So
Justin
that's
Gaethje.
okay. So that's REJ's plus money bet. I like that. I like the sound of that. REJ's plus money bet. Take that plus 142 right now on DraftKings. It's probably gonna go up, obviously. Oh no, no, that's not
Last
the plus one.
last little nugget. Last little nugget for you. Rafael Fiziev is coming off knee surgery. He's coming off knee surgery. You think Justin's Wash, he's coming off a knockout. This dude coming off a knee surgery. We already
Hmm.
know how that goes if you watch sports. So I take Justin Gaethje. It's just no sleep. No sleep.
All right. RSJ plus money bet. Take the money line on Justin Gaethje. So I might play
Sure.
that bet honestly. So all right. Any more bets you have for the people? Any more fights? Any more good bets you have for the people before we move on to your beloved Knicks?
Mm, I got two pretty sure ones. Pretty sure bets. I got Mauricio Rufy versus Bobby Green. King Green they call him now.
Hmm.
Um 33 and
He
16 fighter, right?
Bobby
Awesome
Green talks a
striker.
lot.
He talks a lot.
He
And I
talks a
and I
lot,
like
bro.
Bobby Green. That's the crazy part. I like Bobby Green, but bro, he has not been backing up that talk in the last
He
like
has not. You're right.
few
He has
fights.
not. He been getting knocked out, bro, for sure.
Knocked out. Easy finishes. Like it seems like all he does is smoke and want to come and fight in the actual main events and not train. And, fighters like that, they don't last too long, much longer. So
Right. So
I'm gonna take him against Bobby Green. Minus 455, but you big ballers out there, you might be able to make some quick, easy money on that one.
awesome.
Hmm. Last one, Curtis Blades. We all know, Curtis Blades can bang. Fought the best of the best heavyweights. Um, he's gonna wrestle the hell out of this dude. Rizvan Cunha. That's his name? It's hard to pronounce some of these names. I'll be apologizing all the time on my TikTok. But yeah, take Curtis Blades. He's got great striking, great wrestling, all around MMA martial artist. So minus 325 to be exact. That's that's
Yes,
that's
sir.
good money right
All right. We got Curtis Blaze. We got Justin Gaethje, RSJ with this fire bets before. What is this? UFC? What is this? UFC
there.
what? UFC
313, yeah.
313. Yep,
Yes,
313.
sir. Glory to glory.
Gosh. So that's solid. All right. So as we sojourn through this, we're not going to talk about REJ's beloved Knicks. And at first, we
Um,
were going to talk about how the Knicks have not beat an over five, was it over 500 opponent, right? That's what it was, right?
and no, they haven't beat an over 500 team. They haven't beat actually. I might not beat, and they haven't beat a top five team, I believe.
Right.
A
Yes,
top
that's what it is.
five team within 9 games. 0
Yes.
for 9.
And right, they're 0 for 9. And they actually suffered a pretty bad loss yesterday to the
0 for
Warriors.
10. They're not top five, are they? But shit, the
Nah,
Warriors
they're not
moving
top
right up
five. They
there.
just barely in the play. I think they're like number 6 or 7, something like that. That's what I looked at yesterday.
They, they,
So yeah, so I mean, what do you think about the Knicks? I mean, I from what I saw yesterday, I feel like the Warriors, I'm just speaking on yesterday, but you can speak to them on like a overall because you watch them a lot more than I do. But um what I saw yesterday from them, I saw Brunson was really having a tough time with Golden State's trap. They were getting him really high. Like, and so
Mhm.
he wasn't able to like penetrate as much as he's used to. He looked really good in the first half, and then it just kind of just slowly just
Died
dwindled.
out the second.
Yeah,
Yep.
it died out, and there was nobody other than OG who was killing for them.
I was
They didn't get,
just about to
like,
say that. Get him some
OG
help.
was right, man. OG was really the only one who was consistently hitting shots and making things happen. And I just feel like this is just me. You tell me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just feel like Josh Hart is such a hindrance to what they want to do because he can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I understand he hustles. I understand that he can finish and stuff like that, but he is not a consistent shooter that hinders them. So what are you been
Uh-uh.
seeing from the Knicks as to why they can't, beat a top team?
Josh Hart. Come to the front. Come to the front. 2 points. This man had 2 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. That's not gonna cut it, Josh Hart. We need more help for Jalen Brunson. At the end of the day, our star player has no help really right now. I know we got Mikal Bridges. I know we got Anunoby. He helped yesterday. I know we got Precious Achua and McBride. But the thing is, we need production from y'all every night. We can't have McBride get 44 in one night and then this game only get six. You only got six. Like the consistency for the Knicks is really bad. Like we need more people to actually try to create offense, but it seems like only Jalen Brunson can create offense and OG. Everybody else, honorable mention to Mikal Bridges, who should be really dropping 30 along with them, is not really, they're not doing what they need to be doing. They need
Yeah,
to space the floor more too. They
for
don't open
sure.
up enough opportunity for Brunson. He's a little guard. You can't you can't have him crowded up everywhere. It's going to be turnover central. Which what do you think happened yesterday? Mad turnovers.
Like I don't know, man. Just watching them yesterday, like I said, like I didn't like. So they traded away DiVincenzo and I forgot who else they traded away, and they obviously brought in Cat and they brought in
Started, bro.
Bridges and stuff like that. Like right to improve the defense, you have longer wings, on the floor at one time, and the plays that they were getting beat on by Steph were just Steph just looking one way and going back door. Like they were constantly beating them off the ball consistently over and over again. And it's just like you can't blame that on rest because I felt like the Knicks they have a solid rotation. I mean, they have when they take their starters out, they have McBride, now they got Mitchell Robinson back, and then Achua.
Yeah.
Like they have players, and correct me if I'm wrong, they got the other dude, the lefty, Cam, was it Cam? It's not Cam Marshall. What's his name? The one that got into it with LeBron the other day.
I want
I
to
can't remember. Oh,
say
campaign,
Cameron
campaign,
Payne.
campaign,
Cameron Payne.
campaign.
Yeah, yeah.
And he actually came in and ball yesterday. He had some buckets too. You know what I'm saying?
He's
And
gonna
their
be
second,
hooping.
yeah, and their second unit was solid. You know what I mean? But I just felt like for a hard nosed Tom Thibodeau team to get beat the way they did on um, offense on defense by the Warriors, I just think was just inexcusable. For them to
I'm
consistently get
sorry,
beat
bro.
like that.
I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm gonna say it. Steph owns us at the Garden. Every time he show up to the Garden, bro, look at some of the stats, man. He dropped 51 in there, man. Like it's bad when he pull up to the Garden sometimes, and I'm like, why? Why does he always do it to us? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense because it seems like we always have a team that just can't guard small ball. We have a big ass, lengthy team that can't shuffle their feet to stop the small defender from getting a backdoor layup. And it's a lot on the Warriors now. It's not just Steph anymore, bruh. They done perfected the small ball cuts and a lot of the backdoors that they do are just too easy, especially when you're guarding you have to guard the smaller man.
Right. Because they got the Warriors do. They got Pajinski now. They got Buddy Hield, who was eating yesterday. They got
Yeah.
the former Nick uh Knox. He
Kevin
came off
Kevin
and
Knox.
had
That
right.
got me hot yesterday. That
Yeah, he
got me
came
real
in and had some buckets too. I was like, yo, everybody getting a little bit of getting a little
Kevin
bit
Knox
of
hooping on us.
right. I was
This
like, yo,
Kevin Knox
everybody on the
instant
Warriors
art,
eating a
bro.
little bit.
We traded him and sent him to the G League, bro. And now he came back for revenge. I was
For
like, this is a
sure,
Knicks
bro.
nightmare if you're a fan. If you've been a fan for a couple years and you see Kevin Knox balling on us and they won, that's a nightmare right there, bro.
Yeah,
Literally.
that's a fact. And then on top of that, y'all,
Literally.
Cat didn't play yesterday either. So what talk about that, man? What have you been seeing from Cat? Like I know at the beginning of the year before the All-Star break, Cat was I believe he made the All-Star team, if I'm not mistaken. He did. He made the All-Star team. And, you know, everybody thought that this was a great fit for him. And they feel like he's taking a step, right? So what are you seeing from Cat in the totality of things?
I'm still high on Cat, but I'm not high on the injury proneness of a lot of star players. Not just Cat. To go along with Cat, to go along with Joel Embiid. Like, I get it. You guys play a lot of back to backs. You are required to play almost 81 games, but something is going on in these medical staffs because people are being hurt for way too long. Like literally, Joel Embiid, uh, Ben Simmons too. they backs and knees been hurt for how long? Like the last 2, 3 years, like consecutively. So if they
Yeah.
play 2 weeks, they'll take a day off. They play 2 weeks, they'll take 2 weeks off. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if we need to start developing more stem cell technology or letting them use TRT, but it's getting bad in terms of the injury proneness. I still think Cat is a great center, good perimeter player, shit, good down low player, great post game, good defensive player all around. But you gotta stay healthy, bro. And that goes for all the other players I mentioned. Stay healthy. Like I know it's easier said than done, but they should be doing the same thing LeBron is doing. How often has LeBron been injured? I can count on my head, barely.
I
He
mean,
just started getting injured.
there is a nasty little rumor out there that says that LeBron takes steroids, but we're not gonna talk about that. So,
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it. That's the rumor.
I mean, when you're
I
doing
seen that
that,
Chael Sonnen video. You know I'll be on my MMA. I seen Chael Sonnen make a video
yeah,
on
yeah,
LeBron
he
when
sure
he went on
did.
that
He
podcast.
broke
You
it.
probably
He broke it
seen
all
that,
down
man.
too.
He broke it down pretty clean too. So I don't know. This ain't the conspiracy podcast, but
Right.
LeBron does look too good for 40, bro.
For
Too
sure.
too
And
good.
he's been, but this last month, he's been hooping. I'm not gonna make this about LeBron. This is supposed to be about the Knicks. I just wanted to
Yeah,
shout out. I just want to shout out that LeBron been playing great this last month, and then he hit over 50,000 points yesterday on a 3-pointer. So shout out to LeBron, man. This is my second week in a row shouting LeBron out. So shout out to my man LeBron James for balling so
hey man, I
hard
used
at
to be
40.
the biggest LeBron hater. I done became a believer, man. I'm not saying I'm a fan, but I am a believer now.
Right, you got to be a believer. I mean, what he's done throughout his
God, bro.
career. I mean, you have no way to scoff or critique what he's done. There's only really one other person you can really compare him to, and that's Jordan, obviously. So
Jordan,
yeah.
yeah.
So wrapping up the Knicks portion of this, what do you see the Knicks outlook being? Obviously we feel like they're making the playoffs, but what do you think they're going to do when they get to the playoffs? What do you think their best case scenario for the Knicks is?
Some other Knicks fans might hate this, but graciously, a second round exit. Second
Wow,
round
second
exit.
round,
And
man.
like we just trashed. Like might not even get out the first. I'm so serious. Like it's to the point right now where I'm like, if we don't beat the Lakers tomorrow, book it. Book that opinion. We're out in first or second round, give or take. I really see the first round because all these hard fought battles, if we get bad seeding, I mean we're still high up in the rankings right now, but if we drop and drop and drop, if we get bad seeding, but it's a wrap.
So
It's over.
you feel like tomorrow against the Lakers will be a nice test for them to see what they obviously the
Yeah.
Lakers are the number 2 team, I believe, right now in the West, especially after last night.
Number
You
five, bro. Came up from number five,
yeah.
the Lakers.
So this you're right. This will be a good test for the to Knicks to kind of see where they at. Um, I'm interested to see again how Brunson handles that trap. He did not handle it really well yesterday, and he couldn't honestly. So I want to see if the Lakers do the same thing. But I honestly feel like yesterday they had a betting line that they thought that Jalen Brunson's gonna get 30. I think he's gonna get 30 tomorrow against the Lakers. I think he is because Luka doesn't play any defense, and so he's gonna be the primary
Yeah,
defender
yeah.
on Brunson.
Look at
I
that
would
good idea.
imagine. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he'll go for 30 tomorrow. So if you want to place that prop, Brunson plus 30. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me get a DraftKings bet. You said it's tomorrow, RSJ. I gotta give these people a bet too. You giving people bets. Let me give people some bets.
I believe so.
Give people some bets. Give them a prop. Give them a prop bet. Let me see what I got here. Prop. Let me see. Let me see. Single game. I want to give y'all some props too. Yeah. Game props. I think I want to hit the Brunson plus 30. I think I want to get.
What's it gonna be?
Where is that? Can I
It's the
get the
easiest
Brunson?
segment.
Oh, they don't have the Brunson plus 30. Well, when they come in, because they only got the team props up right now. They don't got the points props up. So I'm gonna get Brunson plus 30 to get 30. I'm gonna smash that one.
I like that one.
So
I like
yeah, I think I'm gonna smash that one. So anything else on the Knicks before we move on?
um uh, Thibodeau stopped running the players to the ground. You should have picked up more bench people in the offseason. They're not in the before the trade deadline. Um, Mitchell Robinson, you need to work on your offense. You're gonna be scoring. Um,
He definitely needs to get more aggressive around the rim. I'll definitely say that. He too
yeah,
big to
no
be.
pressing.
Yeah, he too big to be trying to finesse everything, bro. Go up there and lay it up. Like, go up there and dunk it, bro. He
You be
bigger than
sitting
almost
there,
everybody out there.
sitting there looking like Eeyore, like, oh well, like, bruh, shoot the ball up around the rim. I feel like he just, as soon as he gets down there, I feel like he gets like this impending doom feeling. Cause bro, being that big with only 7 points, come on, bro. He should be getting fouled every play too.
Definitely, we need more, but give him some grace. He is coming back from injury though,
He
so
is just coming back. He is
he
just
is just
coming.
so I want to give
Next
him some
year,
grace. All right, and so now that we have progressed through the Knicks, we are going to hit some draft talk. This past weekend was the NFL Combine, and some of your top prospects did not run. So your Shador Sanders, your Cam Wards, your Travis Hunters, they did not run or do any of the on-field drills for the combine. I don't think Ashton Genty ran either. And honestly, I don't think he was going to run a fast 40 anyway. So it's probably was better that he didn't run. Um, but, one of the big talks of the combine week was Shador Sanders' um, interviews of what he did and how people perceived him. There was a report
We're
that
back on
Josina,
his head.
yeah, right. There was a report
Oh,
from
wow.
Josina Anderson that said that one team that was in the top seven had a interview with Shador, and they came away with the fact that they felt like he was arrogant and brash. And so, Irish J, said you know a little bit about Shador. Like, what do you think about that? What do you think about, you know, GMs viewing him that way? And like, what are your thoughts about Shador as a player?
I mean, he's I think he's a good quarterback. I don't know. I see the hate online. I think with Shador, like it's became more about who his father is and a lot of like race oriented things versus how he actually can play. Because he is brash. I wouldn't say he's arrogant, but he's his father's son. Like he's the same. He's literally Deion Sanders Jr. Like he's 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 confident. He got to this point. There's a lot of football players whose dads was in the NFL rich as hell did not get to where Shadur Sanders is. So I think at a certain point he does deserve to act a certain way. Not saying he should be rude, not saying he should be arrogant, and but if you're getting interviewed, no offense, you're getting interviewed by a bunch or maybe a group of white people, and you are black and you have style, you have charisma, can be seen as braggadocious. Shit, some black people see that as braggadocious. So overall, I don't think Shadur is really in the wrong. Like, what did he really do? All the headline said was, oh, they had a meeting with him. He seemed arrogant, but they don't have no quote of what he said. They don't have nothing it, I guess your energy can though rub people the wrong way. Very true.
I would definitely piggyback right off that and say, sometimes, your energy can rub some of these people the wrong way. When I first heard it, I thought this was a ploy by teams to try to get his draft stock to drop. That's because teams do that a lot. They put out, narratives such as that to kind of get people to, turn off him. But I think Shador's put enough on tape, especially this season, for Colorado,
Mhm.
that showed that, he can get it done. One of the things that I came away impressed with first and foremost is if I'm looking at his PFF grades, he's improved his grade every year from 2022 to 2024. Has started with the 83.7 PFF grade and ended last year with the 90 PFF grade. But what really stood out to me about him, I felt like his first year at Colorado, I felt like he didn't handle like adversity well in terms of like if they was down, like he didn't handle that really well. I didn't really feel like he was a strong leader. But going into this season and watching this season, I felt like he was a way better leader, and not only a way better leader, but I felt like he was better in terms of dealing with throwing under pressure, in terms of standing in the fire under the blitz and being able to deliver accurate throws. And I think his accuracy, to me, went to another level this year. I like his
Imagine,
size from
man.
6'2". Yeah, from 6'2", 215. I think he is going to be a solid, NFL quarterback. And then also to bring the 2 points together, like some of your top quarterbacks are arrogant and brash. Like you guys know who his father is. It's Deion Sanders. He talked a lot, right? He not only talked a lot, he backed it up. He is the greatest quarterback to ever play a game. I bring that to Shador, and Shador, was a really good college quarterback. And he walks around with that same similar confidence that Deion walked around with. Rightfully so.
Walk around like
He had it
a
right,
some of y'all
exactly.
need to start acting like you a top 10 pick. Stop coming in here on this humble tip, man. I want to say that to some people. Sometimes humble don't get you in the door.
Yeah, that's a fact. I told
That's it,
somebody the
dude.
other day, I said, listen, any opportunity I've ever got, I had to be bold and brash, both of those things, and it worked. And it usually it worked for me. So I understand some GMs, thinking that he's arrogant. And again, you knew these things were gonna come out, just because again, they like to disparage people like him. And then, Prime has said it this past year. It's like it's not like you said, it's not people attacking him, it's people attacking me through him. And I think that's what it is. Again, we
Mhm.
knew that these reports were going to come out, but again, I'm going to be very anxious to see what he does at his pro day just because I'm a junkie for the sport and I want to see him, throw in a comfortable environment. But I fully expect for him to, throw exactly and put on at the pro day exactly what we've seen on tape, his deep ball accuracy, his accuracy in the intermediate levels, and his ability to, throw on the run. He's shown that the propensity to do all that. He isn't a plus athlete, and you see that in the difference between him and Cam Ward in terms of, not being able to create so much out of structure. Not saying he can't do that, but he isn't. He is to me best when he plays on time and in rhythm. So I'm very excited to see what Shador does at his pro day. And then moving, I mean, yes, what Shador does at his pro day. So moving to, as we're talking about quarterbacks, Cam Ward, Ari, what is your thoughts about Cam Ward and what you've seen from him?
Uh, um, hmm, I think he deserves to go uh number one personally. I know they want to take what help me out with the OLB's name. You know I cannot pronounce his name. Abdul,
Abdul Carter.
because I feel like a lot of teams in the NFL need a quarterback right now. How many teams can we name that are struggling right now? They're begging for the Raiders with what's his name, Derek Carr. Like you don't want Derek Carr. You need a number one. You need a number one pick. It's either that who got the number one pick this year. Did they even?
Tennessee.
Mm, mm. So yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that most likely these teams will probably be picking a quarterback number one. But I think Cam has a better throwing arm than Shooter. We've seen in a few of his games he was throwing deep bombs and back to back to back. And I believe who was that they played where he threw like three deep bombs back to back. I can't really remember the team they played because I've only watched him play it like two times.
Where he's played back to back. I don't remember. Cam Ward snapped in a lot of games. First three
Hold on.
games of his.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, what, one, two, three, four, five, six 90 plus graded games by PFF. So I mean, he had a heck of a season too. average depth
was
of
a game
target.
where you had touchdown passes. I was like, yeah, he's nice. That's all I can say. I was like, Florida done did something with him.
Yeah, yeah, man. He's also another
Um,
quarterback too. That's what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the game where he had like three touchdowns. Oh, this one. They played Duke.
Oh, okay,
They had
yeah, Duke.
five touchdown passes.
Yeah.
He was just throwing at leisure. Like he couldn't do no wrong.
Hmm.
This man had 400 yards that game. Like I knew there was one that I seen where I was like, this dude is the truth. Because I didn't watch too much of him personally this year. I watched a lot of Shedeur. More of a,
Sure.
I'm a Colorado, you know, I'm a Colorado fan. So
Yeah. Oh no, that's no problem at all. I know a lot of people didn't watch Cam Ward, but I did. I watched Cam Ward and I love Cam Ward. I love Cam Ward just for a different just for different reasons, just because if you knew his story to where he was a no-star recruit, had one offer coming out of high school, and then he took three stops. I forgot what his first stop was, but from that first stop going to Washington State and then from Washington State going to Miami, he progressed every year as a passer. You look at where he started in 2022, had a 59.9 PFF grade, and then he ended this year with a 92 grade. That's quite a dramatic jump from where you started
crazy
to
job.
right now. I think to your point though, Ari, I love Cam Ward as a passer. In terms of him just being able to just be such an athletic passer. He says that he watches Aaron Rodgers, and I do see a lot of that in his game. In terms of, I always say that Aaron is a quarterback who runs to pass rather than run to run. And I see a lot of that with Cam Ward too, and I understand why he's the going to be the number one quarterback taken. It's because he can do a lot of that off script stuff. He's great under pressure, and he's got a 90 grade on every level of the field and under pressure. So, like you said, like it's like he can't do any wrong, and that's pretty much the season that he had, this past year. Throwing to people like Restrepo, who's in the draft, and then Elijah Arroyo too, throwing with the top targets like that. So, Cam Moore's rumored to be going to be linked to the Giants
Mm.
or the Browns, because I believe the Browns have the second pick in the draft, and they would be stupid to pass on Cam Ward at this point. I don't think, based on what I've been hearing, I don't think that the Titans are going to take a quarterback just because from the reports is they don't love anybody, in this draft in terms of quarterback. But it would be great for them to trade back and get more assets. But
I heard
I
that. I heard that, and I was just like, y'all literally need one though.
right, they do, they do lead one, but
Y'all
they
literally need
they
one.
don't they don't believe any of them are better than Will Levis, and that's kind of tough. But it is
That's
what it is.
tough.
That's their evaluation of it. If they're you know that's what they feel. I would hope that's not what they feel, but if that's what they feel, then I understand. So talking about the Titans, they have though been linked to wanting to draft um Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, the Heisman Trophy winner from this past year. Um, big, big noise around Travis just due to the fact that, he is a player, the only player in college football who played, over 1,000 snaps on both sides of the ball, right? And they want to understand like that's an unsustainable way to play football at the next level. So, Ari, what do you think about Travis Hunter and this whole him playing both ways thing? Like, do you think that's something that he could do in the league? Do you think that's something that they going to make him play, one spot? What do you think?
They're gonna try it, but it's not gonna last. Travis Hunter, he's a big dude still for what it is. Very stocky guy, great athlete, but he's not gonna be able to get hit by some of those O linemen, some of those DBs, some of those safeties even in the NFL, and hope to be that durable all year. Personally, unless his healing regimen is really well, like good, I don't see him sustaining that. And just to be honest, you don't want a player that you're going to utilize for at least one side of the ball to be used on both sides of the ball. Like if you're going to need him for offense and he gets hurt on defense, you know, fucks up the game plan. Excuse my language for a part of the game. So
I would
I
agree
don't.
with that. No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I just don't think it's gonna be sustainable. Like he's a great player, and I really admired him playing both sides in college. But you can't do that at the highest level because they hit way harder, and you're going to be taking way more punishment at the highest level.
I would second that. Here's the thing though. I think that there is going to be a team at the very least in the top 10 that is going to take him. And he's already been saying that do not take him if you're not expecting him to play both ways. And I mean, that's fair because he did do it in college. My whole thing is, though, is that for me, it would be different if he played both ways in the SEC or the Big Ten, but he played both ways in the Big 12. I'm not saying that the Big 12 doesn't have competition, but if I'm looking at their first four opponents, it was North Dakota State, Nebraska, Colorado State, Baylor, and then UCF. These aren't Penn State, Alabama, Georgia.
He's not the
These
big
aren't
high roller
right,
thing.
right. These aren't teams that are, have the best recruiting talent year in and year out. So my whole thing is I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be a sustainable model, but it's going to be a situation where he's put so much on tape at both to where I don't think that they're going to, I think that there is going to be a coach that's going to let him do both. And so if it was EJ would draft him as a corner just because there aren't many top lockdown corners right now, and playing corner is way harder than playing wide receiver. That's because
They
all of
ain't
the
got a wide
rules,
receiver in the deal either way.
right? Exactly, yeah. And I feel like playing I feel like you can find a wide receiver like in the second round. Like DK Metcalf was a second round draft pick. Terry McLaurin was a second round draft pick. AJ Brown was a second round
Mm,
draft pick. Like you can
mm,
find solid wide receivers in the second and third and fourth rounds of drafts. Like, but you can't find a solid every down starter as a corner, and that's what Travis Hunter is. He's gonna be a fast, long, lanky, athletic corner that's gonna cause havoc. And so
mm.
in terms of the top three picks, you got Tennessee, Browns, and the Patriots. And I would love to see him at Tennessee. The only thing for Tennessee is that I don't feel like if he goes to Tennessee, I don't feel like that moves the needle for them, right? Because Tennessee just signed L'Jarius Sneed last year, and he was a bust. He was getting beat all year. And so if you go and you get Travis Hunter and you play him at corner, like to me that doesn't move the needle for them. If you play him at wide receiver, right, you still have a quarterback problem. So I don't
Mhm.
know. I honestly believe that they should trade back the Titans. As far as the Browns, again, they're another team who needs a quarterback, right? And they would be dumb to pass on Cam or Shador. It would be really stupid to do that. So Patriots to
That's
me
why
would.
I'm like, how are,
What'd you
well,
say?
I'm just thinking to myself, like, how are teams even thinking of passing up on probably two generational quarterbacks in one draft class? I don't know how they're like, well, I don't like what we see. I think it's just because, we're going to harken back to the race thing. Or excuse me, isn't it two top black quarterbacks? I know Cam Ward's white, or no, Cam Ward's black. Yeah, it's two black quarterbacks in the damn draft, and I feel like that's a part of it. No one wants to draft, those two for said reasons. You know the NFL ties, man. I'm gonna be the one to see it, man. I'm gonna be the one to say it, man. The NFL is tied in certain things, such as racism and prejudice. We know it, you know it. Certain times they have been unfair to players, allegedly.
I
Allegedly.
would actually have to disagree with that. I feel like the NFL has come around more to black quarterbacks. Matter of fact, the number one pick in the last year's draft was a black quarterback. Kyler Murray was the number one pick. He was a black quarterback. So the NFL
How
loves
was
black
Kyler
quarterbacks.
Murray, though?
Huh?
I mean, Kyler Murray is he worked out, but he's not like something that taking anybody to the Super Bowl. So I think their mindset is that why should we pick a quarterback when the last few ones we picked haven't really been the best, they haven't really been groundbreaking. Like Kyler Murray is good, but he's so short. What is he doing? What are you doing behind the line?
He's a Pro Bowl quarterback. I mean, I can't name 10 quarterbacks in the league that's better than Kyler Murray. I'll be honest with you. As much as people don't like him, as much as people don't like his demeanor and that he play video games and all that, like I can't name 10 that's better than Kyler. He is a really good
Can't name
quarterback.
10, but you can probably name five, and that's too much.
You said what? You said you can't name 10, but oh yeah, I can name five for sure. Because when you're
Yeah, yeah,
undersized, it's just tough for you. But I mean, due to his size and due to what he's done this year, like I feel like he's made a pretty solid career. Again,
yeah. He
it's the
made a
off
statement
field
this
stuff.
year.
Yeah,
He
it's
made
the
a
off
statement.
field stuff, and it's the video game things that rub people away. And the whole thing about writing in his contract that he has to study film, like that rub people really the wrong way. But I feel like for the most part, I feel like he's had a solid career. Again, it's just people's feelings towards him in terms of what he's done off the field. And he hasn't won at a high level, which I understand too. But he
That's
still
it.
is a
It's
solid
really
quarterback.
that. You ain't win at a high level. You can have all the stats, but you gotta get the goal. You gotta get somewhere. At least the conference finals.
Yeah, at the very least. So, but moving back, I was trying to make a point, about Travis. I'm looking at the top five right now, and I don't think Travis makes it out of the top five. I think by either Patriots or Jags, I think are going to take him. Um, I want to use the word generational, but we have not seen a player in the NFL who has played both ways. So I think Travis, I'll say he's earned the right. He's earned the right to play both because of what he's done in college. But I would love to see him go at either the Patriots and pair him up with Christian Gonzalez and have one of the most dynamic cornerback tandems in the league, or go to the Patriots and beat in our wide receiver one and be paired with Drake May. So I feel like there's a lot of incentive in there for the Patriots, and then the Jags,
Yeah,
they
I'll
just
say
need
I
talent
was
overall.
impressed. Yes, sir. I
So
like that. I like that thought for him. And I like
yeah,
Drake May.
I love Drake May. What's a prospect in this class that you like, Ari? Like whoever it is, wherever. Like what like give me one prospect that you really like.
I mean, I really like Shadur. It might be the hype. It might be, it might be, a victim of the moment. But I really do think I like players with confidence. Players with confidence are usually going to carry you somewhere. Whereas a player who's more so reserved, yeah, they might still be good, but when the moment and the lights get bright, I don't feel like they carry you where you need to go. I feel like Shadur is ready for the moment. He looks to be the star. He doesn't run from it, and his skill set is right up there with his star power. So I feel like he's going to be a good quarterback wherever you bring him. But he's going to still bring money to your franchise. People are definitely it's going to be the same. It may not be the Caitlin Clark effect, but it's going to be the Shadur Sanders effect wherever he goes. Like he's going to bring people to your game.
For sure, definitely has star power, charisma, and with the prime effect, on that whole thing, his whole brand, right, for sure is going to elevate a franchise. And if you're trying to put butts in the seat, it will be great headlines to have him, in your franchise for sure. So as far as a prospect that I really like, if I'm sitting here scrolling through prospects that kind of jumps out at me, I love Tyler Warren from Penn State, 6'6" tight end. I was really impressed with him. I have some ties. I used to work for Penn State covering their recruiting. So I got to
Mm.
honestly see him, playing. I really didn't notice him until this year. If you watch any Penn State games, you know that he is always a key cog for them and what they want to do in terms of getting the ball in his hands. I don't really feel like he's like the best route runner, but in terms of catching that ball over the middle and making it happen after the catch, he can do all of that. And my beloved Rams, we need a tight end. I don't know if he's gonna be there for us by the time we get down get down to the
What
20s.
will pick y'all
I
got?
mean, yeah, but what pick do we have? Matter of fact, let me look. It's in the 20s. I know that for a fact. We got pick.
No.
We have pick 26, so that's near the back. That's the back of the first. I don't think he's going to be there at pick 26 for us, but if he is, McVay need to sprint the card up for him just because, again, I think he can be a dynamic tight end in our offense, running those drag routes, blocking, like anything you want from him, he can do. He could just be an overall weapon in that McVay offense in terms of the passing game and the running game. And I think he can elevate. He's the one draft pick I think that can elevate us and that can make us a more dynamic team, adding him to what we already have with Puka Nakua Obviously, we're gonna make some more moves in free agency that I would like to see. Wouldn't mind seeing Devontae Adams a part of our receiving room either. So, but if we can get a young stud like Tyler Warren, seeing that we missed out on Brock Bowers last year, and we was trying to move up to get him and we couldn't, I would love to see Tyler Warren fall to us and we make that happen. It don't look like it don't look like that
Trying to
happens
see
just
Tyler
based on.
Warren coming off that screen in the Rams uniform.
Oh man, I would love to see that. Then have him, blocking it on that edge for us too. I would love to see that. So Tyler Warren is my, one prospect that I would, love to have in this draft. Shout out Penn State. Love the people over there. Shout out to my man, Coach Naz Oliver from Jersey, man. He just got a job over at Penn State in their recruiting department after being the head coach at Malcolm Shabazz for the last year. So shout out to Nas Oliver, man, because he was my guy. He one of the people that was nice to me when I first got to Jersey and was covering Jersey football. So shout out to Nas Oliver, man. I hope you make your mark as a recruiting guy for Penn State, man. So
Oh, nice,
appreciate
man.
all you've done. So for sure, shout him out. So that's all we have for the show today, man. This was a great show. Again, I always clap it up for our consistency. I'm starting to condition myself to be ready at Wednesdays at 9 the pod, man. And when we start getting some, real solid consistency, we can start going live and get some like interaction from fans and stuff like that. That'd be really good for us, man. So I mean, this is all I have. Iris J, you got anything you want to leave the people with? Yeah, matter of
My
fact, Iris J,
TikTok.
leave them your TikTok where you do your content at.
You already know. You already know.
Yes.
My TikTok is J Do That MMA 95. Um, yeah, I really love the sport of MMA. I cover it pretty much daily. Post news, I post PFL, Bellator. And yeah, man. It was nice talking to y'all. Great pod, EJ. It's great to be consistent again. We gotta get Prime, Frank on here, Jerome. We gotta get that true big sports cast pod that really can be groundbreaking. This one was for sure, but I know we got more in the tuck.
For sure, man. And again, it starts with one person, man. One person with consistency leads to two people leads to three, four, five, and etc. So that's kind of, the spot that I'm going in to get, more consistency from everybody else who said that they would like to be, a part of the podcast. And so until next week where we come up with more topics, we appreciate y'all if y'all go subscribe on YouTube. All right. Because we trying to get our YouTube up to get these YouTube dollars. And you can go follow me at eDaniel77 on Twitter. That's where I got a lot of my engagement. Same thing on Instagram with the underscore, right? You'll find me on there too. And I'm very amenable. I love interacting with people too. Just don't be disrespectful. Keep it polite. I'll keep it polite with you. So until next
Yes,
time,
sir.
y'all, please subscribe and please go follow us. Appreciate y'all. What we got? What we got there? Is
Oh
that the
man,
TikTok?
it's looking blurry.
Oh yeah, it's blurry. They'll find though. They'll find.
Oh shoot,
Until
they do
next
that
time, y'all.
MMA.